guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, we got sweet Michael Monkey Vaughan on the screen. One of the collages that I've made, and I never tire of looking at his beautiful face, and I pray every day that he's found tomorrow. But at this point, we have four suspects. As we all know, we've got Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shurtleff, and Adrian Lucene. Now, Brooks from CLL, my friend Brooks, she went over a call that she had with Brandon's current girlfriend, Misty. She is also pregnant with Brandon's child at this point, and I'm going to go through it. It's about a 36-minute phone call, and I'm going to pause it every now and then to offer my thoughts on it. And as always, I want you guys' thoughts in the comments as well. You know, we just want to find Michael, and anyone who may have a connection. And now that she is dating and is carrying Brandon's child, she knows things. She has a connection now to this case.
What his job was doing. And 3 days after, from what I heard, the kid went missing and he bounced.
Okay.
Do you know?
Now I'm going through what Stacey said to me, and he said that Adrian was somewhere else and that Brandon was at his mother's house in Kuna.
He left for like a week at a time, weekends. He was gone most of the days because I have brought this up to Brandon, and I don't see Brandon doing that to a child.
Oh, no. Gosh, no. Gosh, no.
He's got a heart.
So as you can see, Misty doesn't believe her sweet honey bun could do this, could abduct or hurt a child. You would hope that that's the case. But, I mean, he's a father. He already has one child, from what I understand. And now he's got another one in the oven, so to speak. So, does he only care about the ones that he's procreated? Or is it kind of on a case-by-case sort of basis with Brandon? It's hard for anyone to ever imagine anyone wanting to hurt a child, but as we all know in the true crime community, it is awful and it happens every single day. So just because his girlfriend doesn't see this side of him doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
He's like me. Our birthdays are actually on the same day. We got hearts. And we care we care about people. And to be honest, ever since the kid went missing, we freaked out because everyone was starting to blame him.
Okay, I totally understand that. Because, I mean...
So, like, I don't know what else to say.
Well, I mean, I can say that I don't think that anyone blames you at all for Michael's disappearance at all. I'm sure through your conversations, Brandon probably told you something, hence why
he did tell me that he's never met that kid. He's never met him, and then when he went missing, he's seen all this stuff coming up, and then it tripped him out because he was getting accused of something you didn't do.
Yeah, and I would be furious. I would be like, no.
Oh, he is furious. It took a long time for his anger to calm down because everyone was sitting there and pointing at him.
That's because he's a suspect. If Brandon really didn't have anything to do with Michael, abducting Michael, and more, then he would have sat his ass down. This is my opinion. Okay, he would have sat his ass down with law enforcement and his attorney, Fruitland police, state police. He would have sat down with them and told them the truth by now. And if he truly cares, and I'm sick of also that she says the same thing that Brandon says, and they all seem to say, the kid. And let me tell you right now, his name is Michael. Okay? Michael Joseph Vaughan. It burns me up that they cannot say his name. That's telling to me that they can't say Michael. They can't say it. But I think that she is hopeful, the girlfriend's hopeful that this person that she's now in love with and she's carrying his child had nothing to do with this horrific crime. But what if he did? And he's lying to her. If she can't get the truth out of him, people close to him, and he's not going to come forward, who's to say what he knows? And put it all on the table, Brandon. Go to Fruitland, take a seat, bring your attorney in. Let's put it all on the table, because you've seen what Stacey has done and said, and Sarah said. The only one we haven't really heard from is Adrian, out of the 4 suspects. So that's something that I think that he needs to do.
That's something you can do.
I mean, it seems to me that he's been forthcoming with, I don't know about law enforcement, but it seems like, he was forthcoming with another, YouTube creator,
Yeah.
And when he said that they came back in the neighborhood and Sarah said, there's a kid missing around here. Have, you seen him? Have you seen him?
Oh, wow. I also got told by someone in the Grapevine that works for heavy duty people, ex-husband. And she
Now, what do you mean? Heavy duty equipment?
like heavy duty, like sexing, all this other stuff, or adopting a kid that you're tying them up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, who said that?
Mine in the system, kind of, but they have other people that are in the system. That's what I heard.
Ew.
Audio kind of dropped out there, but it sounds like she's saying some horrific things about what some folks do, and it sounds like she's alluding to Adrian, most of all, being that he is the one who has connections to trafficking.
Okay.
Yeah. If that makes any sense. Sometimes I don't make sense. I'm a blonde.
Well, I'm a redhead, so I mean, there we go.
Blonde and... Oh my god. But anyways.
So, I mean, where on earth could Michael be?
I have no idea. I just know that Adrian had a deal with Stacey And then next thing I know, I heard when, this is what also I heard that the body was under the girl in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
How would she know that? Who told her that? Either she's getting this information firsthand from Brandon, someone else. She has connections to Stacey, as she said. Or is she watching stuff on YouTube? But that's the only way she would know that. And I'm leaning towards she got it firsthand from someone.
and I heard different stories too, so I don't know. I have no idea.
Did Brandon tell you that, or you heard it on the news?
No, I heard it through someone else that's trying to help Brandon because they know who he is too.
Okay.
Because they keep up on all the videos and stuff.
Who might that be? Maybe Stacey? Because we all know when he wasn't behind, bars, where he still is at this point from what I understand, he watched YouTube religiously. He searched for this case in his name. So if Brandon didn't tell you, was it Stacey or someone connected between the two? Somebody that knows these 4 suspects, or is one of the 4 suspects, told her this. Could be Caesar. I don't know.
So, I mean, who do you think took Michael?
I am personally thinking it was Stacey and Sarah.
It seems to sound that way.
Like, I really personally think it was Stacey because I know Stacey. Stacey's nothing but bad guy in my eyes.
Okay.
Like, he's done some crazy shit in Montana when he was here.
And I got
He's
your
the reason
message,
why.
and you said check other states and things like that. And I said, and I felt like I saw all of that. So, I mean, how does Stacey and Sarah, rope other people in? I mean, is Adrian the bad guy and just like nobody will say anything? Or what's going on?
Probably. Maybe Adrian threatened, so they're trying to put on someone that wasn't actually there for the scene. I have no idea. I really don't know. I just know Stacey is a monster, and he's tried to get me in trouble and got my kid. So the other chick named Ivy, I don't know if you talked to her. She does broadcasting like you.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know her.
Okay, well, in the thing on the video with Sarah, she talks about how Stacey got a chicken in Montana in trouble and got her kids taken away. That's me. She's talking about.
No.
Yep. Over lies. And Stacey doesn't care about any one of those but himself.
But why does he have like so much power over people? I mean, look at how he has skated through life.
I have no idea. Like, the first time I ever met him, I really didn't like him. And then he got my friend in trouble for stealing a whole bunch of shit out of the house and blamed it all on her when it wasn't even her idea. She was just along for the ride. And then he did that to me, and then he went to Billings, Montana, and then shit hit there too. So I don't know what he did in Billings, but I do know he's messing with me and Brandon, and I told him not to do that again, because I will destroy him and call him out on everything.
No, he threatened me.
That's bullshit.
No, he did. He said he was going to take my property, jobs, cars, and everything that I have to lay off.
Why? Because you're getting closer to the truth? Have you ever looked at that?
Well, and that's a very strange thing to say. Not that you know the truth, but I believe Stacey does.
I think he does. I think he knows what happened to that kid. Because I know after that kid went missing, Adrian went missing 3 days later.
Well, Stacey does know. He proved it. The video where he's walking Chris McDonough and these investigators through the house. Stacey knows a lot. I mean, there's no question in my mind that he knows that Michael was in that house. But considering that you had Sarah in there, and we all know Sarah wanted a child. She wanted a baby. You got Adrian and Brandon. And then you had Cesar Garrudo, who was in and out. And God knows who else. It's like a revolving door at that place. So, could be more than 4. Could be more than 4 involved in this entire case.
But according to Stacey, he had to
Stacey lies.
Yep, he had to throw Adrian out because, according to Sarah, she was upset because Adrian had a girlfriend over. And then you see the messages between Adrian and Stacey when Adrian said, "Did you get rid of the only child I can presume to be Michael?"
Yeah, Stacey and Adrian, and like I said, I really just feel like Brandon was there at the wrong time. Because I questioned him and has questioned him about it, and he's like, "Babe, no, I'm telling you the truth. I didn't meet that kid." And then all of a sudden I see it missing. Mm-hmm. And of course it freaked him out because he's getting blamed for something he didn't do.
Exactly. I don't know how to explain his mother's property.
I really don't know. I have only had one conversation with his mom, and she's a Christian.
Right.
So I have no idea. She gave me a whole bunch of questions at first, so
Like
I don't know what.
Like what?
She just asked me about my history because she heard about my history and how long I've been sober for and all this other stuff, and I told her and stuff, and she's like, "Well, keep it up, keep going the way you go, because then you will be a match for my son." But the thing is like,
and we all know that Tina loves her boy. She wants to make sure that he's taken care of. So she wants to make sure. That's probably why she asked all these questions. She wanted to know who Misty was. So she wants to make sure that her baby is taken care of.
But the thing is like, I know Brandon would never harm a child.
No, I would think not. Because, I mean, he's a father himself.
Yes, he is. And he's about to be another one.
Right.
So, like, and he's met my kids, and my kids love him. Mm-hmm. So, and I've seen him, how he reacts around the kid. He tries to include them and play football and, like the whole 9 yards. Like showing them like how to do something when they're doing it wrong. Stacey was never that way. He met my kids once and he's like, "Go get them away from here."
If Brandon is so good with kids, let's just say maybe he was just a part of the abduction and he never hurt Michael. Or maybe less than that. But if he legitimately did not hurt Michael, not the kid, then again, I say he needs to call and talk to law enforcement. Obviously, bring your lawyer, but if you're not a part of this abduction and taking this family's sweet child away from them, or if you had an initial involvement and then you never hurt him and you separated yourself from the situation, it's time to talk. And if you had a minor involvement, law enforcement can work with you on that if you tell the truth. The thing is, I believe he knows a lot. And his involvement, well, we don't know who was more involved than the other. All we know is that there are 4 suspects according to law enforcement. And unless and until we are told that Brandon or Adrian or whomever, okay, until we're told that this person has been cleared, they're not cleared. So he's still a suspect until law enforcement states otherwise.
Well, I can tell you right now with Stacey, just my personal conversations, he has an explosive temper.
Oh, he does, dude. He does. And then he'll blame everyone else but himself. According to Montana records, he's a CI worker in Montana.
What's a CI?
Where they rat people out.
Oh, a criminal informant. So what is he ratting out?
Well, back in the day, like I said, I haven't seen him since 2015. Mm-hmm. On my paperwork, it was said he was a CI worker.
Okay.
So back in the day, it was for drugs, but yeah, again, he'll go use drugs.
Okay.
All right, so Stacey's allegedly, or was allegedly, a confidential informant in Montana. Allegedly. Well, I think we all can tell that, again, Stacey, I agree with her. Stacey's out for himself. Stacey doesn't care about anybody else. So if it's going to benefit him to be a rat, which is basically what a CI is, then hell, I'm sure he does it. I'm sure he did it. I mean, they pay for that. And again, looking back at, he was in jail and he told law enforcement, allegedly what was going on at the home when they were there searching the house on Red Wing. Because he wanted that deal. It's all about Stacey, and I have no question in my mind. My opinion is Stacey is definitely involved, as is Sarah. I don't know what extent Adrian or Brandon know or what have you, but there's a lot that was going on in that house, and I'm sure law enforcement knows a lot more than we do.
How on earth did Brandon get roped in with him and Sarah?
So, from what I heard, it's that they got in contact off of Craigslist for moving jobs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And that was how it was.
I just wonder why Brandon moved in with Stacey.
Because Stacey and Sarah wanted to have him help with the moving job.
Okay.
from what I understood.
The
and then when
taxi
they
job.
got
Now what happened when Brandon was, asked to give Sarah a baby? To me, that's very odd.
he said, hell no.
Okay.
He said, hell no. That's what he told me, so.
Okay, well, if she wants to be oblivious to it, God bless her. I think he's a guy, and he probably got with Sarah if he wanted to. Again, I don't know firsthand any of this stuff, but it doesn't shock me at all that there was that going on in the house from what we've heard. And these are quality folks, whether or not he has bettered himself at this point or not, but they're all were involved in some sort of crimes. And if Sarah asked him, hey, I need a baby, Stacey can't do it, maybe he, decided to do it. They offered him money, something else. As we can see, Brandon doesn't have trouble having a child. He's had one with another woman, and he's now having one with her. So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna, take care of that. No.
So that's when he started drifting away from them, is when they started acting all crazy and weird, is from what Brandon put. Exact words.
Okay, so what did you think about the picture of him laying on the couch with Oakley underneath his feet, and Stacey and Sarah were on the way to jail?
What picture? I haven't seen that picture. The only picture I have seen is a guy walking away from this park, whatever park it was. What kind of park was it?
The splash pad?
Park?
Yeah.
Those things. And the person that they have on video, Brandon doesn't even have tattoos right there.
Okay, because we asked, actually, when I asked Brandon,
he does have one cross tattoo, but it's not the tattoo that I have seen on the pictures. I'll show you those pictures that I got from the other person.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
So she's saying that this walking man, whom I've believed for a while now, that this was Brandon. She says it's not. Possible, maybe not. I don't think it's easy to tell about tattoos and what have you, but I mean, it fits his body type, all that sort of stuff. And the only other possible one that we know of might be Caesar Garudo. But I always thought, I don't know about you guys, but I always thought this was Brandon, in my opinion anyway.
But they said that was Brandon. And if you look at his arm and his leg, he doesn't have a tattoo on his leg, and he doesn't have arm tattoos besides that one cross. And that's a nice looking cross compared to a lot of it. Those other things. Well, I'll send you the picture that I have so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I need that real quick.
But I think they're trying to set up Brandon because they weren't happy with him for denying about a baby. And then Stacey found out me and Brandon were together because that's when he hit me up. I was like, you still have not changed. I was like, you're fucking pathetic. I told Stacey that on Facebook. I was like, do not contact me anymore.
Well, I'm so happy you did that. What did Stacey say back to you?
I blocked him before he could say anything. He told me he doesn't know what I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, you do. So he plays dumb. But, like, when I told Stacey I want nothing to do with him, and after he said, what did I do? And I was like, you know exactly what you did. You haven't changed. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me anymore.
That's what he said to me. He said, you know exactly what you've done.
Yeah. I did say that to him. I was like, you know exactly what you have done.
No, he said that to me. I mean,
I said that to him. So. Stacey's a monster. I don't like him. Never have. Got rid of him since I first.
Well, I think most of us will agree with that one. I don't have anything great to think about Stacey. From what we've seen, he's got a massive criminal history, and not to mention he's a main suspect. I believe he and his wife Sarah are definitely involved, and he knew a lot. He knew a lot, and he sure talked. And when we heard him talk to Brooks, on her channel, he sure was running at the mouth, wasn't he? So he lies, and then he makes up things to go with the way he wants it to. So we heard him change his story many a times. And, as we say, you don't have to think about the truth.
You can feel someone bad. You get that vibe.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few of them.
Oh, with Stacey, I got that. My mom even got that red flag alert, too, when she seen him pick up his car in 2000.
Did you try to call Stacey after Michael was abducted?
Nope. He messaged me on Facebook, and then after I found out what he's trying to do to Brandon told me what was going on, and I told him he's still with me and he will never change. And like I told you, I blocked him.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And then he started throwing my name in stuff. Once again, I have never had sex with that guy. Never will. He is gross looking in my eyes. I told him that from the beginning, too. He's always tried to get down my pants.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, count yourself lucky.
He got mad because I wouldn't sleep with him. And then he was treating me like shit and trying to kick me off the bed, and I had a huge headache and I had to go to work that night, and guess what? He was smoking all my weed at the time, and he didn't have his weed license like I did. And my boyfriend got sick of him treating me like shit, and the next thing I know, cops are coming out the door. So I don't know what happened. I do know he called 911. They said someone was held hostage. They did have a gun. It was registered to Stacey.
Are you serious?
Yep. There was bullets all over the room. Stacey's no innocent guy.
Oh, I don't think anyone thinks that, honey. Nope, not.
But I will talk to Brandon later and I'll see if I can get him to talk to you, okay? He's kind of tripped out because everyone's out. He feels like everyone's out to get him when he's getting set up.
Well,
Like he said, that you think he's getting set up.
Well, it seems that way. I mean, from what you have said to me and what he has said to me.
He is getting set up. Flat out set up.
Then again, Misty needs to convince Brandon to talk. And I'm not saying talk to any of us. Okay? Talk to law enforcement with his attorney. That's the only way anything is going to potentially change for him. And it's sad that he's not going to do that, I don't think. I mean, I think that just makes sense, right? I mean, if you're being falsely accused of a horrific crime of abducting a young child, wouldn't you want to get your attorney, obviously, because you do need to make sure you're protected, okay? Innocent or guilty, you should have an attorney, but you should go and talk to law enforcement. Clear stuff up. But that's not happened to this day. It could change though if he decides to do it tomorrow. All he's got to do is go down there. I'm sure they will make time to talk to him. They will clear their schedule to speak with Brandon.
And I'm a very honest person too. And if I didn't feel like, I go out vibes a lot on people.
Right.
That's how I go nowadays. Because I have been raped and beaten for 3 days. I have had a gun to my head. You know? Like, I feel vibes now. I go off those vibes. It made me have changed a lot.
If someone held a gun to my head, I'll tell you what. Whew. Did anyone...
Okay, sorry, my Wi-Fi sucks.
That's okay. Did anyone owe them money?
I don't know. I just know something about have to do... Like I said, I don't know the whole story. I just know what Brandon has told me. And other people have told me that been looking on stuff. And from what I heard, Adrian was they were supposed to sell the kid to someone, but I guess they fell through. From what I heard, but after that kid went missing, Adrian bounced 3 days later.
So, Adrian was supposed to sell Michael to someone. Allegedly, according to what Misty's saying. That actually sounds believable to me. But then he bounced, as she says. So, what happened? What happened between Stacey, Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon? What happened in that period? We all want to know. And if Brandon knows, again, time to talk. And if Adrian, who has been very quiet for the most part, knows and he's going to say he's not involved and he's legitimately not involved, well, again, you gotta talk. Because silence is not doing you any good. Things are going to catch up one day.
So I don't know. But I do know one thing. I do know Brandon is not guilty on this one. Because he told me he has never met that kid. Ever.
Okay, so what do you mean?
He's never once.
What do you mean on this one?
Huh? This kid. This kid that's going on right now. That's who I met on this kid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only one I knew about. But he told me he never met that kid at all. He didn't know about it until after he started seeing everything going on, and he got asked by Sarah. You know?
This particular portion of the conversation really has me going, This kid. So, are there other kids? You know, I gotta ask. Because it's just the way it just comes out that there's multiple children involved, or at least more than one. Why would you say this kid, or not say Michael, and not say he's never been involved with anything like this? That's too strange the way she describes this part. This part, like I said, I have a lot of questions.
But like I said to you, I will call you tonight. I sent a screenshot of your number to him, so.
Well, that would be perfect. Because someone somewhere knows where Michael could be.
Yes, and I know.
I mean,
Brandon has no idea.
Absolutely, and I think that you and Brandon have maybe been, set up a little bit.
Yeah. And whoever this Kelly person is, I have no idea who this Kelly person is. Just so you know, that you mentioned to me. I was there.
Well, it could have been someone else back in the bedroom. I don't know. She's a sweet person. She really is.
Oh.
And I mean, I do know that, I spoke to her when she picked up Stacey from Boise and was bringing him back.
Oh, boy.
To her house.
Oh, boy. I would never bring that monster around me again. Sorry, I call Stacey a monster in my eyes.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
I have seen so much what that kid has done.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like where he's trying to blame other people because he's getting closer on getting caught. Well, and he's not liking it. And he's suing everyone. Yeah. Because guess what? He's placed all over the internet now.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that he threatened me. I know that he wanted to come down and live with me in Oklahoma. And he has this, he's getting, put back in jail left and right. And, between you and me and the gatepost, I don't feel sorry for him.
I don't feel fucking hell sorry for him. The guy deserves what he's putting himself in. No. He did it to himself.
And I want to know about these other people he has talked about and how far up, he can drive. He talks about Vegas. I mean, all these other things. I mean, do you think Michael's alive?
See, the thing is, they haven't found the body that I know of, but they have found his bike in the garage, from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But no body. I don't know. I hope the kid is alive. But I feel bad for that kid if he is, because he's probably getting trafficking, sex trafficking.
Yeah, but the bike doesn't make him alive. And, you know, who knows what was in the backyard?
Yeah, exactly. I pray to God the kid is alive, but I feel bad for how much trauma that kid's gonna live with for the rest of his life.
I agree. And I'm super worried about, you know, his family and especially Michael.
Yeah, I seen one video of the mom in tears, and I couldn't imagine it. So, I never had a kid go, but I feel like it would be a nightmare for me. You know? But I will help you guys. Okay?
Yes, please have Brandon call because
I will.
Because I want him to go through what Stacey has said.
I know him to start writing down about the incident, and I got.
I'm just so happy that you're being so transparent. You know, Brandon has nothing to do with Michael's disappearance. So, I mean, what do you think, you know, when Stacey said to me that he stopped to do power steering fluid and it was him, Brandon, and Sarah, and they went to Kuna?
Like I said, I haven't got time to the video either right now.
And he said there was a duffel bag. You know, they saw a child. And so from there, who would know? I mean, Stacey explains how they got into the garage because Brandon knew the passcode. And he changed clothes and he washed his clothes. And him and Sarah went back the next day. Now, one thing's been proven, and that's canines picking up.
And that's human sense.
Right, at Brandon's mother's house. But it doesn't mean that Brandon was involved. And do you see Stacey honestly get in the car and taking it all the way back down?
I've seen Stacey drive. He doesn't drive so well. He runs into shit a lot too.
And he says, Sarah, we had to stop and she had to go pee-pee on the side of the road while Stacey was trying to remaneuver the toe strap. And I kept thinking, this makes zero sense. This is not at all what Brandon said.
Like I said, I think we're getting set up. And now I feel like I'm getting set up because I'm with Brandon.
No, you're not being set up because you weren't there. And Brandon's not being set up because the evidence is the evidence. There's two people in jail. Brandon's not in jail.
Yeah, but he is getting set up at the same time because they're trying to blame him for being there.
At the house or at his mom's house?
No, I'll have to talk to Brandon. But I do know that they're... I do know when he was living with Stacey and Sarah, he was a pizza driver.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I know. But he told me he's never met that Michael kid.
But then you have to wonder, how does Adrian fit in? It's the whole thing is insane. And at the end of the day, where is Michael?
Right? And like about a kid, and like if you like, I understand. Like if my kid went missing, I would be doing.
And I mean, when you see, the other charges, excuse me, against other people, then I mean, you can clearly see where this came from.
Yeah.
And I can't say because I'm not law enforcement.
Yeah, sometimes law enforcement, no offense, I hope this isn't on recording because I don't want to get in trouble. Some law enforcement are not the best people in the world.
Oh, absolutely. They have worked so hard. I mean, I just really do wonder how 3 people can be in the truck stopping to do the power steering fluid. Stacey happens to see a child. And then from there, the child is gone.
I have no idea. I will have Brandon call you tonight the best I can.
Oh,
okay.
Don't even worry about that because, I mean, I go with what, Brandon said, saying that they came back into the neighborhood and Sarah said, there's a kid missing named Michael Vaughan. Has anyone seen him?
Doesn't that bring red flags to you? Why would Sarah say anything?
You think?
Yeah, I think a lot.
I mean, I see her crazy videos where she's talking to herself, saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I've talked to several neighbors and things like that. But I mean, the one thing they can't put together is Adrian and Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because we know Adrian was dropped off at the Applebee's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I do know. What I've heard from what Brandon here, the 3 days that kid went missing, Adrian was gone.
And it's so strange because Stacey said, oh no, he was gone like a month later because Sarah got upset because he had a girlfriend over.
Yeah. I have no idea. I do know Brandon's trying to get a hold of me right now. He's blowing up my phone.
Okay, give me my number because I got some information for him.
I will, for sure.
All right, talk to you later, Misty.
Yep, you too. Bye.
I don't know what Misty knows, what she doesn't know, what she's unsure of. It's... if she's blinded by any love, I don't know any of that. It is appreciated that she is speaking, to Brooks at this point. And I think, hopefully, that will help Brandon come out to actually speak up and tell his side, basically. Because again, he's still one of the four. But the bottom line here is Michael is still out there. Michael's still missing. And whomever and whatever information, legitimate information is available, we want to know because we want Michael to come home. We want Michael to return to his family. He needs to come home to his mom, his dad, his sisters, and his brother, and the rest of the family. And I still, as much as when Chief Huff told everyone that they believed that he was in that backyard. And I remember that evening when I heard the news. As much as he said that, and as much as a part of me still thinks, well, does that mean he's gone? But what if he's not? What if he is still? And hopefully this is the case. What if he was sold to someone? I mean, we honestly don't know. We don't know what happened to Michael after he was abducted that evening, from his neighborhood. We truly don't know. We know he was at the house on Red Wing, and we know he was at Brandon's mama's home in Kuna. Beyond that, we don't know where he's been. It could have been anywhere. He could be anywhere right now. So we have to keep that hope alive, and most of all, we need to keep sharing his posters and his face. Missing posters in his face. Because that is something that we can do as advocates, as Monkey's Army. That's what we can do for Michael and his family right now. And that's what we did at CrimeCon last year. We talked up Michael and his case, passed out flyers, myself, Brooks, and the CLL community that was there. We were out there, and I remember talking to Nate Eaton as well as many others, and it was just sad to me. And I respect Nate Eaton a great deal, but it was really sad when he told me that Fruitland's too far. Really? Fruitland's too far to cover Michael's case. It's heartbreaking when you can't get these major news outlets to cover Michael. I mean, I'm a little guy. I'm a little tiny YouTube channel here. We need these major media outlets. Yes, News Nation has covered him in the past, and they've done an excellent job. And I talked to them again about Michael at CrimeCon. And we talked to Law and Crime and many others. I mean, as YouTube channels and podcasts, and we can share his face and his story till we're blue in the face, and we will continue to do that. But we need these major news channels to do the same, because they have an impact that we don't have. And I know I'm not going to give up in putting it out there. Never. I will not give up until Michael is found. And I know a lot of you out there are exactly in the same boat with me. Monkey's Army is huge. I know it is. And we need to keep sharing it. Like I said, we're going to share it on our socials, wherever you're at socially. Let's share his beautiful, beautiful face every single day. Well, you gotta be careful about every single day because YouTube will, not YouTube, excuse me, Facebook will put you in Facebook jail because I shared too many apparently missing posters and such, and that happened to me. So, boo on that. But I digress. Let's share his face. You can share my videos, any of my videos. You can share any of Brooks's videos. You can share all of our stuff. I mean, this is not about me. This is not about any creator, okay? And if they say that it's about them, well, they're not in it for the right reasons, in my opinion. This is about Michael Monkey Vaughan. Michael Joseph Vaughan. This is about a child who was stolen from his family. And not only does he deserve to be brought home, but they deserve to be able to have him back. And we need justice once that happens. But let's all continue to stand strong for Michael. And again, I love you guys because there's so many of you out there that have continued to be strong for Michael. And let me know your thoughts on this conversation. Brooks covered this on her live last week, and she gave me obviously permission to go through it here. But let me know what you could think of of Misty. I'm doing my best. I don't want to attack her because I think there's a lot she doesn't know, and I think she's a really good person. She sounds like a good person to me. She's had issues, obviously, but everyone does. But I think that she can get to Brandon to come out to someone like law enforcement or what have you. I think she may be able to do that better than anyone can. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.